That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat. That's a wide body beat.
Yo, Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. What is going on, everybody out there in Panther Nation? Hope y'all had a great weekend, a great last week. I was going to go live last week, but I got to be upfront and honest with all y'all, man. Let me tell you, it absolutely sucks not being able to go to training camp. I mean, absolutely. you know, and I'm not saying that like I'm somebody who has been to every training camp since 1995. I've only been to the last two. Okay. I really didn't think about going to training camp until me and Big Cuz started the podcast. But I will say this: two of the greatest experiences that I've had. So I am really really in my feelings this year that we can't be at training camp. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I wanted to come on today because the pass came on today, and it was crazy because I'm not even gonna lie. Like we got a schedule, last couple years too, for what practice is going to be on what day. I haven't seen anything this year to say that it was like um rookies report, vets report, first day of camp. Okay, we know when Fan Fest is, and we know when the preseason games are. Because honestly and truly, I did not know there was a practice today. I really did it. And that's why I was like, well, shoot, let me go ahead and hop on here and get my thoughts and opinions, watch a little bit of this and see where we go from there. But man, let me tell you, well, anyways, that's my little rant for today. But hey, I'm glad all of y'all are here, glad you're joining me. I appreciate all the love and support. As always, you can catch me on all social media at Armchair GMCJ. And as you're coming in the door, please, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Follow me if you're over on X. Give me a like on Facebook. Follow as well. And make sure you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And I appreciate all the love and support. All right. Okay. So training camp, day 5 today. All right. We got some pads that came on, y'all. They put the pads on. They went out there and they did a little bit. Okay. But before we get into that, let me go ahead and hold on 1 second here. Okay. Uh-oh. Wrong thing. There we go. All right. Let me go ahead and thank all my front office members for being a front office member. Okay. I appreciate all the love and support. Please hope y'all consider re-upping for another month. Again, as well, let me also get into our fantasy football. Fantasy football is also going to be, a part of the front office membership. So I'm gonna put up a few leagues, and I know I've had this up here for a few weeks in a row now, but I am going to put up the leagues of, not in that big of a rush, right this second. But like I said, I'm still probably gonna do like, maybe 3 or 4 leagues. Like I said, if anybody got any interest in putting some money on it, hey, let me know. I'm not gonna throw nothing out there crazy, but I mean we can do it for a few dollars, okay? And we'll do some for free as well. But I will once we get the league started and once everything gets going, I will keep everything updated on my website as well. As far as the standings for each league, who's winning, who's losing, all that good stuff. Okay, so everybody can kind of see and keep track of what's going on as the season progresses. And again, didn't mean to be real short, but thank you to my front office members. I really appreciate all the love and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and before I get into any of this, let me go ahead and some comments. Stephen Bell, what up? What's going on? How you doing? QJ Smith, what's up, CJ? Barbecue chicken alert. The Panthers taking over the South. Hey, it's funny. My wife ordered some chicken wings for for lunch earlier. It's pretty damn good too. Hey man, look, hey QJ, I hope so, dog. I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Panther dog, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? Yes, I am going to Fan Fest. I got a few seats for me and the family. So and the crazy, I'm so mad about that because they went on sale and I forgot, and then I ended up going back the next day. I mean, still, not bad seats, but I could have got some better seats. But it's all good though. It's all good. Let me tell you, I will have my phone in hand, battery banks and everything else in my pocket. Probably my wife's purse, my kids' pockets. I'm gonna be recording everything. So yeah. But yeah, I'll be there. Panther Dog said, hopefully everybody complains enough that they bring it back next year. Well, and that's the thing. And I said this the last time, my little bit of conspiracy theory. Well, not even really conspiracy theory, but I'm not a builder, but I'm thinking like, okay, so it's a big hollow building. I know it's got some stuff on one side of it, but most of it is just the practice field with a cover and walls over it. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm not an engineer, I'm not one of those uh builders that build the big buildings and stuff uptown, and I had another word for that but I lost it, I'm sorry. But I'm not one of those, but I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, I've seen a lot of stuff put up around uptown Charlotte. I'm not thinking it's going to take more than a year to put that up, but I'm not, I can't tell you. And then they're getting the MLS All-Star game next year, which is going to be like a whole week long thing at the end of July. They don't have a date, but it's assumed to be at the end of July. And I don't know if that's a reason too, why we're not having it next year as well. Excuse me, but yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, me being a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, so hey, it's what it is. But yeah, man, I hope they do bring it back next year. I hope they do. I hope they bring it back and the Krispy Kreme donuts, because let me tell you, I told them donuts up. Yeah, they were good. Doug said, "What it do, CJ? You rocking that hat, fam? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's my little my Panthers draft hat. So and it's crazy because I only wear it when I go live. I promise you, I have made a concerted effort. I'm not going to wear this hat anywhere else, because if I take it outside in this 1,000-degree heat, I'm gonna have that dreaded sweat line you see going across the top of it. And I'm a big boy, and I'll be sweating. So I was like, I'm not messing this damn hat up. When I get done with the live, I got a hook right here on the side. I just put it right there. I'm done with it. Appreciate you, Doug. Oh, and Doug, I got something funny that involves you here in a little bit. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. SC Pace, what's going on, man? Say what's up, CJ. Listening on my 2-hour drive home. Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey, be safe out there, man. Be safe. Be safe. Um, it was crazy. It was a bad accident in Charlotte over the weekend, and crazy thing is 6 people died down on 485. So again, SC Pace, hey, pay attention and be safe, man. Be safe. All right. Hola, mi amigo. ¿Cómo está? I mean, I know that's probably real simple Spanish. I know hola mi amigo is. I forgot what como está. But what's up, Dakar? How you doing, good buddy? Man, Dustin, let's go. QJ, did you see Bryce press conference today? He doesn't sound like Michael Jackson no more. My dog sound like DMX. And now he got the hey, he sounded hoarse as I don't know what. Let me tell you, he been out there yelling. It's 1,000,000 degrees outside, but yeah, I didn't hear all of it. I heard just a little bit of it. I've been back and forth doing stuff today, but yeah, I heard a little bit of it, just a little bit. But Panther Dog, I think that's the keep pounding symbol I got on YouTube. Let me see. QJ said, like, I got you. Tip Drill Will Robinson 843. What's going on? How you doing? Hey, shout out to C3 Billy Ambrose, a new member. Welcome to the front office. Appreciate you. All right. Steven says, I think we averaged 30 points a game this year. Woo! Woo! Oh, that's bold. That's bold right there, Steven. That's bold. But I like it. I like it. I'm not going to agree with you. I think we'll definitely 20 something points a game. I don't know about 30. Maybe somewhere between, say 22 to, let's say 23, 25 a game, something like that. Let me just throw that out there. But I got you though. I like you. I like your optimism. Nicole said bonjour, monsieur. Yeah. Yeah, whatever that says. Yeah, nah, I don't speak that either, Nicole. I know that's French. And somebody is on the other side of the wall laughing at me right now. But I'm sorry. What's up, Nicole? How you doing? Carolina Rush, we are strong. We're in strong contention for this division, and that's the feeling I get. That's the feeling I get. But I will, everybody, kind of, take heed, be cautious. We only in the camp for what, 5 practices, you know. And I will say this: I was just like last year. This was me. I was like, I was hyped up. Training camp was looking good. I'm like, yeah, there's no way we gonna go out there and look like we did last year. Not to say that I'm not excited for the season, but I am this year. I am taking the okay, cool. I like to see it, but I'm not going to jump the fence just yet. I'm not gonna get too excited. All right, I'm gonna try to keep a level head. All right. Mr. Hunky Dory, what's going on? He said, sorry, CJ, but watch tonight. Got to finish installing an alternator. Hey, well, good luck to you, man. I hope you get it done, man. Appreciate you, Mr. Hunky Dory. QJ said Krispy Kreme donuts will make you free. Hey man, I love me some Krispy Kreme donuts. Oh, wreck. Oh, wreck your car. Yo, I'm about to say, bruh, like what? Oh yeah, though. It's coming up in a minute, man. Oh, what's going on, Poppin? Poppin, man, how you doing, that good bud? You know what in the car? Forget you, dog. Forget you in the car. Oh my God, you crazy, man. You are crazy. I said cute gas tank scared of him. Nah, buddy. Y'all stupid. This is the most optimistic I've been since before Cam Newton's shoulder injury. Hmm. You know what? I can get with that. I can get with that. Let me tell you, that shoulder injury was wild because when I say I forgot who came in was the offensive coordinator that year. God, I can't remember his name. I can see his face, can't remember his name. But they definitely worked on Cam's throwing motion. He had the best throwing motion I have ever seen in his career the first part of that year. And then JJ Watt, or TJ Watt, decided to turn himself into a Scud missile and just destroy that man's shoulder. And North Turner. Thank you, QJ. North Turner. And it was just heartbreaking to watch, him the rest of the season. I'll never forget that one game. I forgot who we were playing, but it was halftime, and they were doing a Hail Mary to the end zone. And Taylor Heineke had to come in and throw the Hail Mary because Cam Newton couldn't get the ball all the way down to the end zone. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. He said, I still don't know why we ain't kidnapped TJ Watt. Man, bro, let me tell you, we should have sent the whole squad up there to Pittsburgh. All of them. All of them. Just Pennsylvania just swarmed the whole state. I swear. But yeah, North Turner. Yep. Thank you, QJ. Nine Dime all the time. What's up, homie? How you doing? What's good with you? All right. So let's get into okay. So now training camp has been going on for a few days, and I have not been live. So I know most of you have you know all this stuff already, but just in case you don't, okay, we're gonna look at some of the transactions that have transpired since training camp has started. Okay, first of all, Nick Scorton agreed to his contract. Um, and the crazy thing is, looking at his contract here, I don't understand what took so long. Okay, let me hide this banner real quick. I don't understand what took so long. And I don't know if it was the language in the contract, or what, but that $8.6 million contract, that was his contract that he could sign. The rookies are on the pay scale now. So that was his contract. And we thought it was all over, guaranteed money. Now, mind you, he has a what is it, $2.9 million signing bonus that's split over 4 years at $726,000 a season. Um, and he has total guaranteed money of $3.7 million. Which was crazy because this whole thing started with Jaden Higgins and Carson Schwarzenegger, for Houston and Cleveland respectively. Their second round picks, they fully guaranteed their entire contracts. Okay, so that was that. And me personally, I was sitting here thinking like, okay, well, as soon as Nick Scorton signs that contract, it's going to be, he's probably going to get a good chunk of it guaranteed. I thought it was going to be more than that $3 million. So, like I said, but let me throw it back up on the screen again. He signed his contract, and yeah, 3.7 million guaranteed. So, yeah, we'll see. All right. But he is on the field. Okay. They also placed Tommy Tremble, tight end Tommy Tremble, wide receiver Dan Chisena, on the active, physically unable to perform list, and placed punter Sam Martin on the active non-football injury list as well. And I think Derek Brown missed a day or two of camp, but it was for the birth of I don't know if it's his second or third child, but he had another child, so that's why he missed training camp as well. Like a day or two. And Derek Brown has been cleared, for all activities, which is a great thing. Also, um, oh my goodness, I can't think of my man's name. Jesus, our defensive, and y'all gotta forgive me. It'll come to me in a second. All right, let me get some move on here. Okay, so release Josie Jewell. Okay, DJ Wanham. I'm sorry, DJ Wanham. All right, DJ Wanham is at camp, and I don't think he has any restrictions as well either. So, we were all waiting to see if he was going to come back and be able to participate, in camp like we all wanted him to last year. We had to wait on him last year. We thought he was going to be ready for camp last year. We thought he might be ready at the beginning of the season, and he ended up missing like the first half of the season. Okay, so that's who it was, DJ Wanham. I apologize, y'all. I saw his face but could not say his name for the life of me there for a second. Okay. The Panthers also signed tight end Tyler Marbury and placed defensive tackle Bobby Brown on the active non-football injury list. I think it was with a hamstring. Okay, so they also signed cornerback Trey Swilling and waived QB Ethan Garbers. All right. And they also, well, let me get back to this one. Okay, let me skip this one for Mello Dotson. All right, so the Panthers also signed outside linebacker J.J. Weaver from Kentucky and waived Amari Barno. Okay, so now I got to go back and update my roster slides. I didn't know if a Barno was going to make it. Did not think it was going to be this fast. Did not think he was going to be cut quite this fast. Okay, but anyway, shout out to Amari Barno. Like I said, I had high hopes for him. I wish it could have been better, but hey, it's what it is. It's what it is. Let me see. So Bobby Brown III and Sam Martin have both been activated from the active non-football injury list. Okay. Now let me get back to the third one on the list here, Mello Dotson. Okay. So the Panthers signed Mello Dotson and waived injured cornerback MJ Devonshire. Okay. And Doug, if you're still here, this is why I said I had something that involved you. Okay. So the other day on X, Doug made a post. He said, "Oh, love this signing here. I was very high on him and Kobe Bryant as prospects. Dan Morgan got that hat on again." Okay, and if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Dub, I do believe we saw both of them down at the Shrine Bowl when I came to visit. So, but in in good fashion, my cousin Tony pops up and says he can't tackle. He won't last long. Hey, let me tell you, I called Tony and we talked for a whole about an hour and a half. About an hour and a half about this. When I tell you, I almost fell out of my chair when I read this. I called Tony. I said, "Dad, Tone." I said, "You just shot part down real quick." He said, "But CJ, he can't tackle." So yeah, so I'm sorry, Doug. I'm sorry. Hey, and it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because Tony said the exact same thing. He said the exact same thing. He said he thought Dotson was a better corner than Kobe Bryant. He also said the same thing, but he also followed that again with he still can't tackle. So I thought you might get a kick out of that, dog, man. But yeah, I had to call him on that one. I said, "Dad, man," I said, you just shot everything down, didn't you?" But yeah, so the Panthers picked up Mello Dotson, and oh, did I say that wrong? Yeah, not there, Mello Dotson, and they let go of MJ Devonshire. Okay, all right. So for the first few days of camp, oh, and you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up here and shoot the shit with me just a little bit. But y'all let me know in the comments what are y'all overall vibes of camp so far. Okay. Me personally, I think that, you know, it's kind of going like, you know, my camp experiences for the past 2 years. You know, the defense kind of starts out a little bit quicker than the offense. Um, you know, but it is a different vibe out there from what I've seen. Okay, from what I've seen, it feels like it's a different vibe. Going into camp this year, okay, so the offensive line is not a worry. Okay, we are very deep at the wide receiver spot. Okay, we are very deep at the running back spot. You know, now I think that we are a lot deeper on the defensive line, excuse me, this year than we were last year, but they still have to prove themselves. Okay. We are definitely a little thin at linebacker, especially with Josie Jewell. You know, the Panthers releasing him because of concussion issues. Still praying that he gets that you know issue resolved. You know, maybe he can come back one day. I think they did leave the door open for him, you know, to return. All right. Did save the Panthers $3 million in cap space, so we're back up to around $20 million. You know, not with any of these signings here, maybe, but yeah. So you know, secondary, you know, it seems like the Panthers keep signing people, bringing them in, you know, and we'll have to see, you know, how far that goes. But like I said, you know, overall vibes, I think everything is positive. Okay, everything is positive, and I know that's something that I probably said last year as well. You know, but I as far as you know, me being a fan, and just looking in, it looks like everybody is, you know, where they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it seems like everybody is locked in so far from what I can tell. Okay, from what I can tell. All right, it like again, and I'm gonna keep bringing this up. It'd be a lot better if we were at camp, but hey, you know, from what I can tell, everything looks to be good so far. Okay, let me see. Let me go back hit some comments I missed here. UJ said when we came back from 24 points versus Eagles, probably one of my favorite games ever. Gotcha. The card said JJ Weaver got 6 goddamn fingers. Oh, Black Shear's armchair agent show up in here. I'm I'm tuning him out. Okay, and the car it's his fourth kid. Gotcha. Gotcha. Appreciate that, Nicard. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Let me see what's Doug said. Hey, you know, Brown and Martin both practiced today. Yeah, yeah. They both got activated from that non-injury, whatever this is called. Um, Let me see. The car said Barno had ample chances. Can't say he didn't. This is true. This is true. With Barno, it was it was the speed. He ran a 4.3 something coming out of Virginia Tech. So I think everybody thought he was going to come in here and be able to use that speed to his advantage at the edge spot, but it never really materialized. And you know, he was a hell of a special teamer now. Hell of a special teamer. You know, he get down that sideline real quick, but I mean at this point, you know, hey, I think the Panthers got plenty of them, so we'll see. Let me see. They'll say we saw it when we attended the Shrine Bowl. Said I'm gonna get his ass in the car, sitting there badgering Doug in the comments. Oh my god, yo. Let me tell you, Big Walt, what's going on? He said, shout out to my guy Tony, miss his analysis. Yeah, man. Tony's doing good, everybody. He said to tell everybody what's up. But yeah, man. Yep. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, it was a little bit of a scuffle today. Little bit of a scuffle. That's why I named it the live. I said pads and punches. So it was a couple swings out there today. All right. Chuba and Trevin Wallace fought. Trevin put a welcome home Roscoe Jenkins titty on Chuba. Man, Lord, yes he did. I got the picture on here too. Let me see. Hey, what's going on, Will? How you doing, good buddy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, Which? How you doing?
Hey, it's good to hear your voice. Good to see you live. Keep pounding.
Appreciate it.
You're
Yes,
doing
sir.
good, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you, big dog. Hey, so tell me what you're thinking so far, Will. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I needed to turn my TV off. I had you on the TV so that way you
Oh,
would
okay.
get the feedback. Sorry about that. So
Oh, you
I'm
good?
feeling good. I'm nervous because I feel good about this because I've been snake bitten before, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I'm being cautiously optimistic, right?
Gotcha.
But for Princely Umanmielen, I like this kid swagger. I like his ability to say that he's like that. He's not afraid of nothing.
I got a slide about him too.
And I just want to make sure that I put that into the atmosphere. So a lot of
Mm.
people's like, oh, he's going to get humbled. Well, he's going to get his welcome to the NFL moments. He's going to
Oh
get
yeah.
all of that. But I think in order to play the position that he has to play, that he's going to play,
Mm.
he's just showing his personality. We have lacked personality on the roster. I mean, who was our personality? Taylor Moton, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we lacked
Mm.
personality, spontaneity. We lacked that swagger. We lacked a lot of the ingredients that gets a fan base riled up. So he's on Twitch talking about ain't no tackle can hold me. I'm like that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just cold.
Yeah.
Boom. That's the
Mm-hmm.
type of stuff you need in order to say I'm coming with confidence. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess Dave Canales used that we gotta find ourselves or find us. That's what he means right there.
Oh yeah. I feel you on that one. I feel you. Hey, but Nakari said it don't count as a Super Bowl run until Bryce smiling with the handful of the JC jersey. I let me tell you, I highly doubt we're going to see that, but that would be hilarious. Oh, that would be hilarious. I think people would just freeze up and would not know what to say. I think his teammates would probably just be standing around like wait a minute. Kind of one of them moments where they would be scared to even intervene because it's like, yeah, nah, we ain't seen him do nothing like this. We don't want to touch him. But yeah, that would be wild, but I highly doubt it's gonna happen. Highly doubt it's gonna happen.
That
But
would be
yeah, man,
incredible.
wouldn't it though? Wouldn't it? Oh, let me tell you, the media, football media would be on fire. I mean, on fire. That would be, I mean, it's Cam and it was Josh Norman, but could you imagine somebody getting Bryce Young mad to the point where he did that, bruh?
Woo.
I couldn't see it happening, but
Yeah,
that would be wild if it did.
it would be. It would be.
He said, I will come up, but I'm rebuilding my 69 Chevy Supernova Sport. On Forza, really, Nakari? Really? This dude, hey, why are you playing Forza, man? Get off that damn Xbox. Get you a PlayStation and get on Gran Turismo, man. Come on now. All right, gotcha. But yeah, man. But again, my overall vibes, I like where everything is going. A wide receiver room is I can't remember. I can't remember a wide receiver room like this for the Panthers where you can go through and name just everybody from top to bottom and be like, yeah, they gonna get some burn. He gonna get some burn. He gonna get some burn.
He's a he's
He
a starter. He's a starter. He's a contributor.
yeah,
He's a starter. Right.
yes.
That
Mm-hmm.
just
And,
hasn't
and and
happened.
and God forbid anybody gets hurt and you're like, yeah, you know what? Nah, we good. You know what I
The
mean?
an-
To,
the
to a
answer's
certain
on the
extent.
roster.
Hmm. Oh,
Right.
my bad in the car. He said PS5 got Forza now. Okay, well, hey, I said old man moment. My bad. My bad. All right, but bet. But let's go ahead and and move on here. Okay, so I got this picture of Bryce up here, and I got the title "No More Slow Starts." Okay, I have said this time and time again on this podcast that Bryce and the Panthers have to get off to a good start to this season. Okay, first 4 games, anything that's I would my goal is for them to be above 500. 4-0, 3-1, something. I don't want 2-2, but I would accept it. But anything under 500, I'm gonna be ready to burn the building down. You know what I mean? Not literally, but
Uh,
I'm going to be
yeah,
pissed
yeah,
because it's going to feel
yeah.
like
It's gonna
it's
it's gonna have that same familiar feeling.
yes, yes, yes. That same familiar feeling. Hey, but you know what? I do got a clip of Dave Canales today when he was talking about Bryce. So let me play that real quick.
I just want to see Bryce continue to master the offense, use his tools. He's doing a great job there, getting to some of his signals and checks versus the right looks. He's really dialed in that way. Certainly with the run game, making sure that we're going to the right spots and we have a bunch of alerts built in that way. He's doing a great job of carrying our system to where Brad and I are sitting there on a day off yesterday. Like, what else can we throw in? What little wrinkle can we add? We're still in install mode at this point, but Bryce is giving us the ability to continue to expand what we're doing, and that's the high hope, really.
The first part, like what impressed you most about him bouncing back?
Just his leadership. He led the whole way through. That's who he is. He's continuing to do that. He checks in with his guys constantly. There's constant feedback in between periods when he's out there. He's just talking to his guys. Thinks he wants a little bit differently. They're always kind of fine tuning stuff. And just his steady outlook. He's just a competitor. He loves the moments that kind of crescendo into this 5-to-5 drill. Where he's got to make a play, and he just thrives there because he stays the same. And so I just love that about him.
All right. So you heard him say, it's to the point now where him and Brad Isaac are like, what can we give to throw at him? All right. Now, me personally, I hear that and I'm like, okay, I don't want to say he's got the playbook mastered, but he's definitely going out there and he's doing what he has to do. Um, but to the point where they're like, okay, well, and I'm going to assume, they were having these meetings and they were like, okay, they had a list of things. All right, cool. He got this. Let's start with this week. Let's throw this at him and see what it does. Gets to the next meeting. Okay, cool. Feel okay about that one. They may try it again. They may go to the next one on the list. Let's throw this at them. But now you get to the point where they're like, now then they're sitting there scratching their heads like, all right, well, crap. We done tossed everything at them that we have. Now I don't know if they're trying to come up with different things, to toss at them, or maybe going back and look at some things and just revise some plays, formations, or whatnot. But what that's telling me, he is out there and he is talking to his players. He is getting everybody in the right spots. In the part where he said he's out there talking to him and kind of fine tuning things. Like he's like, you know what? I didn't like what you did there. Okay, I want you to be on this side. I want you to be on that side. I want you to run this way. I want you to set up over here. I'm sorry, there's a gnat in here. Yeah, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but these are things that I haven't heard Canales nor Frank Wright, say about Bryce yet up until now. Okay. And I know a lot of people watching this. He was a number one pick. This stuff he was supposed to do. You know what? And I agree, but damn it, it didn't happen, and that's why we're here. Okay. Oh, yes, that's why we're here. But from what I can tell, this seems to be getting better as far as Bryce Young having command of the offense, and not just command of the offense, but being able to tell his folks, hey, we need to change this, we need to do this, we need to do that. Going out there, making adjustments on the fly, being able to read, and react to what the defense is doing. All right. And whether you agree with it or not, we saw some of this down the stretch last year. We saw a lot of it, compared to the beginning of the season. I think we saw a lot of it. Some people will still say, nah, it was the Falcons. It was the Cardinals, because the thing is, no, we did not beat anybody over that had over a 500 record. Okay, we beat the Saints, we beat the Giants, we beat the Cardinals, we beat the Falcons, and I forgot who the other team was that we beat. I know somebody tell me in the comments, you know. But yeah. So, but like I said, I know everybody be like, "Oh, we didn't beat anybody," but I mean, he went out there and he played and he looked good. Even versus a bad team, they're not going out there just trying to roll over and give them the game. They're still going the Raiders. Okay, the Raiders, but he didn't play in that game. Thank you, QJ. But they're not going out there rolling over trying to make him look good. So I will say that as well. All right. Let me go back through some
Well,
of the comments again. Go ahead, Will.
so I have a, I agree with everything you said, but I'd like to add something.
By all
This
means.
does mean that he was looking at film and playbook and design this summer. I wouldn't say all summer because I don't know what all the gentlemen did, right? But this shows that he
Mm-hmm.
did a lot of work because he's coming into training camp, and this is how this is the offense that we run, and I am the conductor on the field. This is how I want things to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that comes from having the same playbook
Yeah.
2 years for the second year, the same coaching staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same level of expectations in the environment. We as humans, we're a creature of habit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
through repetition, things got better. Just for the simple fact that the offensive line is the exact same offensive line, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Bryce and the offensive line are in sync. I see the hot read. I know that on his audible, he's gonna call a check down. You see this light box? We check into a run, and Bryce can call. So the offensive line and the quarterback, that synergy is already there from last season, right? With that being said, only thing that we're really adding on the offense is Tedero McMillan, right? Tight end
Yep.
play and Hunter Renfro. Everything else is the same. So if he is a professional and he gets paid to do this as work, just like Bryce Young said, I reviewed every single snap last year, everything we did or didn't do. He probably went through it several times. So he had everything implanted in his brain, and everybody is saying that his processing is what make him a special player. We should start to see that metastasize inside of the offense. And
Yeah.
and and I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if I heard this subliminally, but I think I heard Dave Canales says he has a mastery of the offense, a mastery of the
Mm-hmm.
playbook.
Yeah. And that's good. That's good. Hey,
Absolutely.
real quick. Hey, Stephen Belt, man. When I say I had to cut the camera off and make sure I was on mute, I couldn't handle this one. He goes, Dunk had the biggest pause worthy moment of all time on his last live. Fam saying there's a meeting in my backfield.
Yo,
Oh, oh my God. Yo. And in the car and saying he sung it too. Hey, look, the castle, y'all
he
broke.
did.
Hey, let me tell you. Hey, yes, I was malfunctioning for a minute. I was. That's why I had to cut the camera off. Make sure I was on mute. Let me tell you. Hey, Will, I'm so happy you was up here talking because I would have had to glitched out for a hot second right there.
There's
Yo,
a meeting in my
hey,
backfield.
there's a Oh my goodness gracious, yo! I gotta go back and take a look at that one. I know that was hilarious. Appreciate that, Steven. Thank appreciate that. But yeah, man. But yeah, and like let me see. Oh, he said he was talking about Nick and Princely. Oh, gotcha. Well, okay, well, yeah. I mean that makes it still ain't no less funny, but yeah, that that makes a lot more sense now. Appreciate you, Kari. But yeah, it's it's pivotal to the Panthers this season that they get off to a fast start. And because you got to think about last year. Okay, we came out versus the Saints. Now, mind you, our defense goes out there and just gets slathered all over the field on the first drive. Okay. I mean, just washed all over the place. It was like, okay, cool. Bryce goes out there. The first throw of the season is intercepted. The first throw. When I say confidence killer, right there. Confidence killer. Okay. Agree with me or not, it's what it was. His confidence went just straight down the drain.
I was
Okay.
I was at that game. I was at that game
Oh,
live and in person in
oh
New
man.
Orleans.
Mm,
I left shortly after halftime. I left short.
dang.
It was probably my worst sporting experience of my life.
Ooh, I bet.
Yeah,
I
it was
bet. Oh,
terrible. And
yeah,
them
man.
Saints
It
fans,
was.
oh my God, they are.
Mm, yeah, they're bad.
They was handing me umbrellas. They were handing me, oh, you know, they had an app. This one guy had an application in his hand to become a Saints fan. He had the paperwork, everything. He just said sign right here. It was terrible. I just left, man, because I said I can't take it. Y'all got me.
Yo, that is crazy. And it's wild because I didn't go to too many Panthers games shoot growing up or even before we did the podcast. But I did go to I think the first one I went to was a Saints game. And when I tell you, them fans were just crazy when they won that game because this was back when Drew Brees was still playing. And I mean, I had to walk behind this guy going down the stairwell at Bank of America Stadium, and he kept doing this. Y'all smell that breeze? You know, y'all feel that breeze? And I'm sitting there like, God, I wish I had something to throw at him and just knock him right on down the rest of these stairs. So I could imagine. I could only imagine what you was going through down there.
Oof.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
But first pass of the season, interception, and it just went downhill from there. And and you can see it. Me and Tony was even talking about it. We went back and looked at the all 22, and it's like it was almost like he was still stuck in the previous year in the 2023 season. He was back there. He had clean pockets, but it was almost like the internal clock in his head was just stuck on like a second and a half, maybe two, and it was just like snap. Boom, 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 boom. I gotta go. I gotta go. He wasn't going through his progressions. He wasn't taking his time. Wasn't doing anything. It was just almost like he just knew he was about to get hit. And call it what you want, but being sacked 62, 63 times the season before, I'm pretty sure had a lot to do with that. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
he did not trust. I don't think he trusted himself, first of all. And call it what you want. That's just my thoughts on. I don't think he trusted himself. I don't think he had the trust in his offensive line yet. And that's why I say now it's like, okay, cool, we're going through camp. Because the thing is, Bryce looked great in camp last year. He was out there slicing people apart in camp last year. Look really good. Even when the Jets came, he looked good versus the Jets in the joint practice. But then we got out there to the to the game or whatever, not gonna say it's a totally different story, but it wasn't everything we saw. And then we get back at training camp, it's like, okay, well, he bouncing back. Get to the regular season, nah, bro, he didn't bounce back high enough. It was just a mess. It was the
Yeah.
Saints game, then the Chargers game, and it was the same thing in both games. It was like he hikes the ball 1-2. I gotta go. I gotta go. And it's like, no, like, bro, wait, let the play develop. You know what I mean? Now I know there's an internal
Right.
clock in our QB's heads where it gets to a certain point with certain plays, and it's like, okay, you know what? That's my last read. Ain't nothing open. Let me go make something shake. Okay. But Bryce was like, hike, I gotta run. He did that for 2 games, and Dave saw that. That's why Dave sat his ass on the bench, and said, hey, you need to sit down, take a look
Hmm.
at what's going on. Let you sit behind Andy and see what Andy is doing. And, I still think that was the best thing for him. Did I want him to get benched? No. Nobody wants your number one overall pick, your Heisman winner, Bama Bryce, to get benched after
Mm.
2 games in
Right.
his sophomore season in NFL. but
Correct.
it was what was needed to be done. But now I say all that to say, okay, um, if the end of last season is any indication as to where he is now, most of all with his mental game, okay. And now that you hear Dave Canales talking about, he's pretty much mastered the playbook, and now they're having to think and come up with things to throw at him to be able to say like, okay, well, shoot, he's got all this. Let's find something else to throw at him so we can keep him on his toes. To me, that's really what I like to hear. That's really what I
Yes.
like to hear, because I've been a supervisor, in my professional career, and kind of the same thing happens while I'm out there. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me give these guys and teach these things, slowly. Okay, let me be here, answer any questions. But it's like, okay, cool. You got that? All right, okay, all right, bet. Let me go ahead to the next part. All right, you got that down, pet? Bet. Let me go ahead to the next part. And then my thing is, it's like, all right, bet. Once I get to the point where it's like, you good. Oh, cool. I'm gonna come out there and keep checking on you every time to time, from time to time. But and I know football and me being a supervisor are two totally different things. You know what I mean? Two totally different things. But at the same time, when my people got out there and they got good and they got proficient, I'm like, all right, bet I ain't got to sit here and hold your hand no more. And I think that's the same thing that kind of applies to Bryce as well. It's like, all right, we're not hand holding no more. Like, you go out there and you are the leader on this offense, the leader on this team. You go out there and you take charge, because my thing is, he might be 5'10", but he's got to go out there. He's the quarterback. He's got the ball. One thing that everybody always says when they open their mouth to talk junk about Bryce, he is the quarterback on the team. He is the most important position on the team. You will never hear me disagree with y'all. Okay, on that point, you will never hear me disagree with y'all. But for me, all things point to Bryce being able to go out there and get this ball rolling really quickly. When I say really quickly, I say, Jacksonville. And then I forgot who the second game was. Or was it the Cardinals? We
The
played them again.
Cardinals.
And then the Falcons. Let me tell you, when we play Atlanta, I hope we flatten them like one of them damn Acme cartoons back in the day, Bugs Bunny and them. I mean, just steamroll them and just come back out of Atlanta just laughing and grinning. But yeah, so hey.
But it's just, but your analogy is spot on, CJ, because you had to spoon feed the entire environment to everybody on the team. They do
Mm-hmm.
not have to tell Robert Hunt or Damian Lewis or Taylor Moton or Icky or anyone, even the backups, what is expected on this play. I know
Mm-hmm.
what my guy to my left of me is doing. I know what the guy to the right of me is doing. I understand this environment. I believe that is critically important to the development of any offense, especially a complex offense that we run, especially when we're doing all those zone reads and zone runs. It's based on timing. It's based on a lot of things. It's tailor made for a person like Bryce, but
Mm-hmm.
now it's time that we should see a big step forward in our offense productivity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I will say this, and I know a lot of people. And Kevin, what's good with you, man? How you doing? Everything's good over here, dog. Appreciate you joining. And dig it as well, man. Appreciate you joining too. But I will say this, and I know a lot of people are going to go back now. When he got drafted, okay, me and Tony were both CJ Stroud fans. We didn't dislike Bryce, but CJ Stroud was our pick. Okay, we wanted
Me
the Panthers to
too.
go out to Stroud. Okay, a
Me
lot
too.
of us did. A lot of us did. Okay, and when Bryce got here, even when they went to his pro day, you got and I'm sorry, went to CJ Stroud's pro day. You got the sense from Frank Wright and the offensive coordinator McCown that they really wanted CJ Stroud. And then you get all this stuff about, Bryce was David Tepper's pick. Okay. And the thing is, when you get out there and you see Frank and then he gets fired 6 games into the season, my thing is, it's like, okay, and I'm not trying to say nothing bad against Frank Wright. He's recently in Charlotte, and I think Bryce saw him, riding uptown and got out and spoke to him and the Stanford players and whatnot. But it's just like, how vested was Frank Wright into Bryce Young for those 6 games? Okay. You know what I mean? Um, Our team was, not I ain't gonna say like a complete mess, but we were a mess salary cap wise. Our offensive line, mind you, we had Bradley Bozeman out there, and mind you, I still like Bradley Bozeman, to this day. Okay, to this day, because that year before, we won the Steve Wilkes and what's his face got fired. No, sorry, yeah, what's his face got fired. Down the stretch of the season, we were a run first team. We ran the ball, just straight on smash mouth football. That's what Bradley Bozeman excelled in. And he got into this West Coast offense, doing all this zone blocking and stuff like that. Was not for him. He goes out to San Diego. He's out there with Harbaugh and the boys out there, and he's out there thriving. So I always did like Bradley Bozeman, you know. But was Frank Wright truly vested, in Bryce? If the rumors were true, and that's not who he wanted as his quarterback. You get what I'm saying? Maybe he already had something tailored for CJ Stroud, and maybe it just didn't fit with Bryce. Okay. Don't know if that's why he got fired, but he got fired and we're here now. So you got Dave Canales. Dave Canales seems like a nurturer at the head coach's spot. He seems like, okay, I'm here, you're here. What are we going to do to make each other better? You let me know what you like, I'll let you know what I like, vice versa. And it got off to a rocky start because Bryce got benched. He got benched, and it's wild that it had to go to that. But that was what it need. That's what needed to be done for them to get on one accord. You know what I mean? But and I know I'm going on and on. I'm talking like my daddy now. I'm just just rambling, and I think somebody agrees with me over here. But we're here now. Okay, we're here now. So I'm hoping all these experiences that he's been through, and he's been through a lot in 2 years. Okay. I'm not saying he's been through more than any other quarterback in the league, but he's been through a lot in 2 years, and I hope all these experiences will do nothing but help him. And the first thing on that list of things to help him to not let the Panthers get off to a slow start this year. Okay. Because the thing was, and I will say this, a lot of people, will say we had a terrible defense last year. Yes, we had one of the worst defenses in NFL history. But at the start of the season, the offense couldn't do jack shit. We couldn't do anything. And it all started with my man right here, Bryce Young. Okay. But I'm hoping we got all that sorted out now. So we'll see. Let me see. Diggy said Bryce has a couple of strings hanging from his shirt. Said, oh wait, I'm wrong. Those are just his. Hey, let me tell you. So and shout out to Doug. Doug had Vashti on his show earlier. Doug was live at 6:30. And Doug, I'll make sure I go back and catch the rest of that because I was scrambling trying to get these slides done for now. But I did catch when Doug and Vashti were talking about Bryce's arm. And Vashti was like, I don't know why everybody's so worried about Bryce's arm. She was like, Bryce throws 30, 40, 50-yard passes, she's seen like with ease. So is that something else that we'll see this year as far as them pushing the ball, more down the field? So we'll see. But yeah, but shout out to Doug and shout out to Vashti for coming on What's Up Doug earlier as well. All right.
Yeah.
Said shout out to
So
Wiley
can I?
Coyote. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Will.
So Bryce ain't gonna be throwing no lasers, but he gonna put the ball in the right spot. I don't know where we get this from. You got to have a rocket of an arm. There's plenty of people with rocket arms and do not do the right thing by the ball, right? So
True.
you got to have a combination of being able to deliver the ball 40 yards, 30 yards down the field with touch and accuracy. Throwing a missile and can't hit the broadside of a barn doesn't do
Yeah,
you any good.
this is true. You are very correct. Very correct. Hey, and shout out real quick to Eternal 252 for the $2 super chat. Greatly appreciate you. I said Mello Dotson, move him cornerback 2, Mike Jack cornerback 3, division champ. You know what? Now I don't know about that just yet. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you, boy. I wish I could call Tony and wake him up right now. Let me tell you, Eternal, he would come on here and give you the business right now, the absolute business. But and again, and thank you for the $2 super chat. I greatly appreciate you. Greatly appreciate you. Oh, and while I'm at it, If y'all are watching from wherever you watching at, it's 51 of y'all in here now between Facebook, YouTube, and X. Make sure you give me a follow on X. Make sure you like and follow over on Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube if you have not already. I appreciate all the love and support. Okay. But again, thank you for the $2 super chat, Eternal. And I'm gonna take this off for a second because I do have a clip of Mike Jack that I wanted to show everybody. Okay, this is him going against Ted McMillan. Okay, now mind you, I got to give props all around here because this was not this was not bad coverage. You see Ted with the slight stutter. Mike Jack kind of keeps up with him just a little bit. I mean, he's right there. Now this was a ball thrown by Bryce Young. And I give Ted a lot of credit for kind of leveraging that route inside. Bryce throwing it to his outside shoulder, and at the last minute, he dipping out and catching that ball. So it was a good play, but I don't think this was terrible coverage, by Mike Jack at all. So I say, decent coverage. I even say pretty good coverage, but hey, a better throw and an even better catch. So, but yeah, I'm not going to I'm not going to say put Mike Jack at he said Mike Jack trash. I'm accepting all smoke. Hey, well, you know what, man? I'm not, and I'm not sitting here saying that Mike Jack is the best cornerback in the NFL. Okay, but I do not think he's terrible. All right, I don't think he's terrible. All right? I actually think he's pretty decent. Okay.
I think
Oh,
he's a
and
good
and
CB
damn,
too.
yeah, and Eternal, and damn, thank you for another $2 super chat. I thought I had put the same comment back up from last time. This is another one. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, he said I'm accepting all smoke. I got you, man. I got you. Hey, you step out on business, man. You got to stand on it, dog. I got you. I ain't mad at you. And thank you, man. I appreciate you. Go ahead, Will.
No, I was just saying that Mike Jack is a good CB2. He's a
Yeah.
good CB2. Um, are there better CB2s? Yes. But for what we had to give up to get him, we gave up,
Mm-hmm.
people don't remember, we gave up a seventh round draft pick that we had that was going to be came in as a special teamer that didn't even make the Seattle roster. Mike
Mm-hmm.
Jack would have jumped on the waiver wire and we probably wouldn't have got him in direct free agency, right?
Yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
took him as a hostage. We took him as a hostage and he ended up working out for us.
Now we took him as a hostage. Damn. Okay, but you know what? I'm glad you say that, Will, because I do think that the Panthers should still and Eternal. I kind of agree with you, Lou. I don't agree that Mike Jack is trash, but I do think that the Panthers should still be looking for more corner help, but not just signing undrafted free agents that have been cut from other teams. There are still some good, decent cornerbacks out there that could help us. Stephon Gilmore, even though I do not think Gilmore wants to come back to Charlotte. Okay, I don't think that's the case at all. I think he does not want to come back here. No way, no how whatsoever. But you still got Asante Samuel Jr. and some other ones out there who, if I'm not mistaken, still are not signed. We could do, and I know the Panthers are going through a youth movement right now. And all that good stuff. But we could use another savvy veteran cornerback on the roster. Okay. And the fact that Sante Samuel Jr. is not signed yet, maybe there's a way we could possibly get him in here on a 1 year deal. And again, I'm just hopefully your favorite armchair GM. I'm not the real GM, so I don't know why in the world that he's still out there unsigned. I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective. But I do agree.
What
We do
about
need some
Rasul
more.
Douglas?
Hell, I take Rasul too. I
That's what
would
I'm
take
saying.
him
Rasul
too.
started 14 games. He started 14 games last year.
Yeah, yeah. I would take him too. But yeah,
Yeah.
man. But we'll see. I do agree. I think we do need to do something more with the cornerback depth. But again, like I keep saying, that's why I'm here on your favorite streaming platforms and not down on at Graham and Mint Street. So yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Mint and Moorhead. My bad.
Yeah.
Doug said ball placement. Yep. Joe Manick said Joe. Yes, now Joe Milton. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I've seen some of them. Somebody put a highlight reel together of Milton against Dak Prescott at Cowboys camp, and I was just like, man, come on now. Why y'all do him like that? Why y'all trying to do Dak like that? But yeah, but he does have a rocking arm. Yes, he does. Yep. Nakari said that was good coverage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was pretty good coverage. Papa said there was nothing MJ could do. Yeah, that's why I was saying, Ted leveraged that route on the inside. Bryce threw that ball to his outside shoulder. At the last minute, Ted leaned out, caught the ball. There was, there's really nothing Mike could do. So yeah. Kevin said Mike Jackson was all over these receivers. Yeah, and it's another clip I got too to show y'all here, but it was one I did put out a short on it earlier, and I'll tell you about it in a second. Panther Dog said Mike Jack ain't tall enough. Okay, I got you. And I'll still say this. I say this to Doug all the time. There were a lot of cases last year where the communication was terrible on this defense. Terrible. Okay. There were a lot of situations where, everyone plays this zone defense. So you have to be where you need to be. And you could see that in the first game of the season last year when my man from New Orleans, number 22, I forgot his name, but shorter receiver, caught that long touchdown. Mike Jack turned around and looked, I think it was either Fuller or Woods, and was like, where you at? Like you were supposed to be back there. Like I let him go thinking you were going to cover me on the back end. So we'll see. Doug says, remember you saying CJ, you said he needed safety over top all the time. Yeah, no, I remember I said that. Yeah. I said he'd be good, if we give him a safety over top at all times. And and I still somewhat stick by that. Yeah. I'm not saying you go out there.
Number twos or four though.
But yeah, that my thing is, I'm not saying that you put Mike Jack out there in man coverage and lock him up 1-on-1 every play. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So yes, I still subscribe to what I said, Doug. Yeah. I still subscribe to that one.
Yeah, like
Panther Dog
why would
said,
you put him out on an island? Yeah, you would have him.
yeah.
You would have your number one cornerback on the island, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you roll a safety coverage on top of number two. That's sound
Mm-hmm.
defense.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Panther Dog said, we only getting Raiders players and some leftover Seahawk players now. Said Bean, stop feeding us from the Bills. Hey man, we keep sending all our players up there, man. Shoot. Yeah, a bunch of them went up there. If I ain't mistaken, Starla Tulele went to the Bills for a little bit. I remember my man F.A. Ubada that was here. Shoot, I think he went up there. Hell, Shaq Thompson is up there. It's been quite a few of them, So hey.
F.A. Obata. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Yep. Does Gilmore still have a house in Mecklenburg? I don't know, but let me tell you, I know somebody who can find out, so I'll let you know.
Yeah. I
I'll
think I
let you
think
know.
his house down in Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah.
But he do got a
Who
house. He
who
do got a house. But it's in South Carolina.
who was it that was it Ron Rivera said he stayed next to somebody. I can't remember what player it was, but we'll see. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Okay. So Hunter Renfro balling so far in training camp. All right. And I got the question marks up there because I want to know from everybody, do y'all agree or do y'all disagree? Because it's been 4 practices, no pads. Okay. 1 practice with pads. Been a lot of clips out there. And let me go ahead and play one now of Hunter Renfro. And this is on our newly signed safety, Trayvon Morig. All right. So whoop, got him. you know. So these are the type of routes that we have. Yeah, and this is nothing new. If you have kept up with Hunter Renfro, Clemson, the Raiders, like this is what he does, and this is what I've been saying. Like if we can consistently get this out of Hunter Renfro throughout camp and throughout the preseason, as much as I like David Moore, unless they keep 7 wide receivers, he might be out. Because another one that's doing good in training camp is Jimmy Horn, Jimmy Horn Jr. He is doing good in training camp. Okay. He's doing real good. And even XL. And here's a clip I got from XL too. Okay. Got him out there, doing a little stutter step and got him. You see JC Horn right there in tow. And what I did was I put out a little bit of a short, and I was like, all right, Panther Nation, like cool out now, like be patient, because I kept seeing comments and everybody was all hyped up and was like, oh man, don't be showing JC Horn out there getting burnt, this, that. I'm like, nah, I don't think it was anything like that. But my thing was, it was good seeing Xavier Leggett get out there, make that route, catch the ball, okay, and keep going in zone. But still, I caution everybody, this is still training camp. They're still, now mind you, they went past today, but this is still somewhat a controlled environment. So just kind of keep that in mind. And my title to the short was "Be Patient." But back to Renfro though, okay. So but yeah, and then Doug say, nah, let's do 1-on-1 Mike Jack. Doug, you don't want to do that. You don't. You don't want to do that. You won't want him to do that. What's going on, Earl? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Nakari said he on the team. So Will, give me your thoughts on Renfro.
He makes the squad, right? There's going to
Mm-hmm.
be tough decisions that has to be made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we
Yeah.
keep 7 receivers? I don't think we do. I
Mm.
mean, I think we carry 6 on the roster. Um, the NFL allowed us to get Renfro for the league minimum of $1.5 million. As the way that he is connecting with Bryce right now, he seemed like he's the heir apparent to Thielen as Thielen transition out this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we have a X receiver, a Z receiver, and Renfro and Coker as bona fide slots. So no
Mm-hmm.
matter how they kind of move the target around on the field, no matter how they come with the wide receiver combinations, they know if Jalen Coker's in the slot, Jalen Coker can absolutely get that ball because he can route you up. If Renfro's in
Mm-hmm.
the slot, Renfro can carve you up. And then you have your standard X and Z, which is a far cry from having DJ Chark as our X in Bryce's rookie campaign.
Yeah. He
So
he is back in the
yes,
division. He signed with the Falcons.
good for them. Um,
Yeah.
but
I hope
but
he dropped
but
every pass.
but he did for us. Um, but just seeing how Hunter Renfro is playing, it's almost as if he's back to I know it's training camp, and that's why I said I am being cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Renfro can get at least 500 yards this season playing as a backup to Thielen. That's just how good he is, how good he's playing right now
Yeah.
in the slot. And if that's the case, he's going to be on this team for multiple years. Will we say David Moore is going to be on the team for multiple years past this year? Where do you
Mm.
invest? Do you
Yeah.
invest in Renfro or David Moore?
You make a good point. You definitely make a good point, because I mean everybody else on the roster at receiver is young. You got Excel going to his sophomore season, him and Coker. Ted is a rookie. Then we have Jimmy Horn Jr., who's also a rookie. And Renfro is 20. Native said, oh, and hold on, and Doug, I don't know. Let me know what the flag on the play was for, man. I'm sorry. And shout out to Kevin for the 4.99 super chat, the 5 super chat. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate you. As always, greatly appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Native said Hunter is 29 and a pro baller. Moore is out of there. But yeah, Yeah, it's crazy because I like David Moore. You know, I like what he did for us last year. But my thing is, if Hunter Renfro has his issue, I think it was ulcerative colitis. I might be wrong on that. But if he has his issue straight and kind of on the back burner, it's managed, it's not a problem, and we constantly each week get what we're seeing out of him in training camp, preseason, regular season, it's going to be
Mm-mm-mm.
really hard for Dave, Dan, and everybody to come up with the reason as to why we did not keep Hunter Renfro. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, just say David
It's
Moore hits the
impossible
practice
almost.
squad. Hmm?
It's
What you say, Will?
it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to say that Renfro don't make this roster if he continues to play like he's playing.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Cause my thing is, just think if David Moore hits the practice squad, just think about if Hunter Renfro hits the practice squad, doing what if he's still looking like he's looking now, and for God knows whatever reason the Panthers do not keep him and try to sign him to the practice squad, he won't last on there but a week. You know what I mean? If that, they cut him and somebody would pick him up like quick, fast, in a hurry. And I'm not saying that wouldn't necessarily be the same case
Hmm.
with David Moore either, but like I said, last year to start the season out, we only had 5 wide receivers, and then we started keeping 6 later on in the season. Well, a little bit further into the season, but I highly doubt they keep 7. And if Renfro is doing this, yeah. And it was funny because I put Sheena Quick's Twitter post down there, and she goes on the 26th, she said, Hunter Renfro, my eyes are on him and David Moore for that last wide receiver spot, hashtag Panthers. And then she quoted that and said, were. So I don't know if that was her putting in a word that she meant to put in before, or she was now saying that, her eyes were on that because maybe she got that same feeling that, hey, Renfro was out here balling, so he gonna make the squad. Okay, so we'll see. But from what I'm getting, everybody in the
Hunter Renfro
comments,
is
yeah,
a former.
David Moore is out.
Yeah, I mean Hunter Renfro is a former Pro Bowler. The
Yeah,
level of
suffered
productivity
that
that you
issue.
come from a former Pro Bowler
Mm-hmm.
that they had to cut because needed. And then if he got that under control, why would you not sign him? You signed a Pro Bowler in a prime wide receiving years of 29 years
Mm-hmm.
old in the prime. So a prime wide receiver is between 28.
Hold on, is that me? Repeat that, Will. I don't know if you went out on my end.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you were saying
Oh, I'm
prime
sorry.
age of 29. You good?
29 to 32 years old is like prime wide receiver years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we signed it. We got this guy at the age of 29. That's a former Pro Bowler. It. Why would you not keep this guy on the roster? That would be just ridiculous. Now, my next question I would ask you, CJ, is he trade
Mm-hmm.
bait? Because we dang sure got problems in that defensive backfield.
You said Renfro's trade bait?
Is he trade bait?
I don't think so. I honestly don't. I honestly do not think so. Okay, because I will say
Hmm.
this. Um, Now I think we have. I ain't gonna say problems just yet. I ain't gonna say problems, but we do have question marks on the back end as far as our secondary. Okay, and me personally, right now, the only question for me is Nick Scott. Okay. And I'm just going off of how he played last year. You know what I mean? He's an Evero guy. He was brought back. So I don't and I keep saying this. I am your armchair GM, hopefully your favorite one. I am not on the coaching staff, because I don't see how on God's green earth Nick Scott was signed back to this roster. That's why I always say, Evero is the man on defense. He know what he doing. I just gotta throw my hands back and be like, you know what? I'm still gonna talk my shit, but it ain't nothing I can do. You know what I mean? Now that's why I really wish we would have signed Julian Blackman. And I'm sitting here thinking that Julian Blackman is waiting for, a decent sized contract, and he signs with the Saints on a 1 year deal. Okay, that I'm sure that the Panthers could have picked up. But again, he came in for a visit. Him and the guy from the Ravens, Marcus Williams from the Ravens, they came in for a visit. Nothing came about from it. So again, I don't know. I wish I was a fly on the wall. Wish I knew what was happening behind the scenes, but I don't. I don't know what came about that. But I am like, well, damn, we didn't get him. And then now, as soon as Tyrann Mathieu retired, the Saints swooped in and signed him. And when I saw that, I was like, yo, I really. And I think somebody was like, man, it's all right. I said, no, I said, me saying really was because I thought it was going to be more than that to get him to sign. You know what I mean? I thought maybe that the money was the issue. And if it was, then shame on the Panthers for not doling up a 1 year deal. I think it was maybe like a couple $1 million. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I don't know if it was. I don't think it was the money. Maybe they didn't
Mm-hmm.
think he was a fit. Maybe they didn't think he was a culture fit. It could be a lot of things. Or they have that much
Mm-hmm.
faith in the money.
Yeah, yeah. Trust me, trust me. I think Damani would do well being a starter, but my thing is, I'm still not confident in Nick Scott being the backup just yet. Okay, and I always try to operate on this like, hey, he's here. You know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, I'm super excited that he's back just based off of how he played last year. That's all I'm going off of. Okay, but I am rooting for him. So we'll see. We'll see. Jay Issue says, I'm already hearing fans putting Adam on a platter for a legit linebacker. And that's what I was going to say, Will. I would think Thielen, if Renfro works out, okay, I would think Thielen would be more of the trade bait than Hunter Renfro. Okay, you get Thielen, on maybe a contender, that has a surplus at the linebacker spot, and somebody that the Panthers feel is legit can come in here and step in. Who knows? I ain't gonna lie, I kind of hope that's not the case. Adam has put in his work these past 2 years, and I pray that we can do something to kind of make his, because I don't even know if he's playing past this year. You know what I mean? We'll have to see. But I hope we can do something to, make his few years here worthwhile, because they the first two haven't
Yeah,
been. I mean,
get
we
a
could just go ahead
playoff
and say
berth.
they
Get
something.
get a playoff
Yeah,
berth this year. Right.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh Chief the digger, what's going on? So Renfro is our lad McConkey. Okay. Okay. I can kind of see that. Yeah. I kind of see that. Okay, what's up, my beautiful wife Nella? She says I'm a little behind. Gilmore still has a house in Union County. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Then you said Carolina was the only place Renfro said he wanted to play. Oh, and it's crazy
Yeah,
because
he did say that.
Dabo showed up at practice today. Yeah, Dabo
I
showed up at practice.
oh Dabo, man,
Sweeney.
please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, please. I'm a game cop, man.
Oh, well, I'm a
That
Tar Heel. I ain't got no issue with Dabo.
I got issues with him. I have reservations. I don't like the dude. I don't like the cut of his jib at all.
The cut of his jib. That's funny.
Yeah.
It said, yeah, Renfro is from Myrtle Beach. He said, very close to Charlotte. I ain't gonna say very close. Hey, that's still a few hour ride.
Hey,
Let me tell you, a very,
Hey, it's
very.
Carolina, man.
I know. No, I'm just saying for me, very close is under 45 minutes. Let me tell you, anything
Oh
over an
Jesus.
hour, yeah, I'm that person. The older I get, the more I hate driving. If it's over an hour, I'm like, I'm gonna holler at you next time, unless it's the fan back home.
Hey, you know what?
Now
I got a question then. What you do in rush hour? Charlotte is
hmm?
an hour from Charlotte in rush hour.
Hey, well, let me tell you, the good thing is I don't work that far from my house. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
usually
Okay.
when I go home, it's crazy because I go down 85. The exit I get off of, that's where the backups start every single
Mm,
day.
okay.
Every single day. And I'm always able to get to my exit, get up to the top of the hill, and look at 85 backed up going north as far as I can see. And
And
as I
you
said,
like,
I'm blessed. I'm lucky and I'm blessed.
hey, real quick divergence, if you don't mind. So I used to, when I lived in
Go ahead.
DC,
Mm-hmm.
my wife was on the other, worked on the other side of the DMV area, and I worked inside the Pentagon. It used to take me an hour and 35 minutes on average every day to drive to work, and an hour and 45 to hour to 2 hours to get home every evening. And I
God
moved.
almighty.
I chose to take the commute because I love my wife. But trust me, when
Yeah.
I got home every day, I don't want to hear nothing. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'm sick of this. That was,
Man.
it was crazy. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, oh, you know what? And don't get mad when I say this, Will. I can hit Bojangles and get to my job in about 15 minutes on a good day.
I work from home now. So my commute is walking down the hallway into my office.
Man, let me tell
So
you,
I'm good.
I I have got to find me a work from home job. I promise you. Let me tell
It'll
you,
change your life.
if anybody out there know anybody that's hiring, let me say I am a quick learner. I can learn just about any and every damn thing. Boy, let me say I'd be all over this darn podcast if I had me a work from home job. Let me tell
Hey,
you, yeah, I
hey,
got a great job now. Trust me, I got a great job, but I got to go in that job.
I get up in the morning. I get up in the morning. I wake up around 7:30,
Mm,
get up, work out, take me a shower, walk around my yard, pick up trash, anything, walk around, talk to my neighbors, walk
mm,
upstairs, take a shower, start my day, take an extended lunch.
that's what's
Since I
up.
work from home, I can go anywhere I want to have my meetings. So I'm at my
Yeah.
friend house having a meeting, and 2 o'clock in the after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm drinking cognac on the back deck.
Man, let me tell you. So, and I know we're going a little bit off top. We're gonna get back on in a second. The job I'm at now, I started a week before COVID shut everything down. So for the first like 6 or 7 months, I did nothing but work from home. And I work in the maintenance field. So we get a call for something, we would run into the office, mask up and
Right.
all this, and go in there, do what we had to do, back home. There were times where there was a week, week and a half at a time where I never had to go into the office. So when everybody started coming back into the office, those days started getting, fewer and fewer. And we were getting 2 work from home days, and then we got one. And it was crazy because let me tell you, I have done everything possible to keep this one work, because today was my work from home day, but I have done everything possible to try to keep this one work from home day. When I say, people be like, man, I need this and I need that and we need to do this, and I'll be like, look, let's all get together, let's make this thing work, because if I lose this one work from home day, I'm gonna be mad at all of y'all don't want to see that.
Oh
Yeah, I don't
man.
want to see that. Yeah, but Jesus M, or is that Jesus M? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. So how is Leggett looking? From what I can see, Leggett is looking pretty good so far. I know a lot of people are focused in on him catching the ball, with his hands. It looks like from the clips I've seen that he is doing that more. But again, we got to wait until preseason. We got to wait until the regular season and see how he's looking. But I'm sure that that's one of the things that he has been working on to get more proficient at during the off season. So we'll see. Yep. Let me see. The car said it's the life. I'm on the clock right now. Man, shut up, the car. Oh, it said man's then took 2 showers in a 3 hour interval. You crazy. Papa said, I guess Mike is Bryant Tiller since CJ is the G. Brant Tillers. Got you. Brant Tillers. Man, let me tell you. Hey, I got you, Brent. I got you. All right. But that is Hunter Renfrow. Let me tell you, Hunter Renfrow was out here balling, and to be perfectly honest with you, our whole wide receiver core from the clips that I have seen are balling. Okay, there's even a clip out there where Bryce Young threw David Moore, I think, a touchdown pass in the red zone drills. Okay, the crazy thing was it started getting too late, and I had to get all this stuff on here in StreamYard, and I could not find that clip to save my neck. Because let me tell you, if you go on the Panthers website and go looking through the pictures, they got a buttload of pictures of Hunter Renfrow. I think I've seen maybe one picture of David Moore, maybe one. When even you can go and look up, you can go search Hunter Renfrow, Carolina Panthers, and it brings up all his clips and this, everything that's been happening now. You go try to do that. I even got specific, and I was like, David Moore, Panthers training camp 2025, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. It brought me up a clip from 2023, and I'm just like, yeah, nah. I'm like, hold on, wait, he wasn't even on the team then, but whatever.
Hey,
But
that's the
yeah,
reason why I said Hunter Renfro they could be getting people liquored up on him, man. What if Hunter Renfro, we move him for a Mike linebacker?
you know what? I doubt it though. I doubt
I,
it.
I doubt it
I
too. I
highly
doubt
doubt
it
it.
too. I just want to, man, I just want us to be good. I, I
Yeah.
okay. I don't want to get ahead of your show, but I'm nervous
You
about that.
straight.
All right. Sorry,
Yeah.
man. Sorry.
No, you fine. You good, man. Hey, trust me. You heard it here first from Armchair GM CJ. I highly doubt that Renfro will be part of any trade bait. Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. For the simple
Thank
fact
you.
of what you get from him if he is back and he is healthy. Okay. And just from the few clips that I've seen of some of his route running and some of him the catches that he has made diving for the ball, reaching back, grabbing passes and stuff. If he keeps this up through training camp, throughout the, I don't, yeah, training camp, preseason, and like I said, he doesn't have any, flare ups from his the illness that he was suffering from. All of that is level and ready to go. Yeah, man, he gonna be on the team. We gonna have we gonna have a plethora of wide receivers. But yeah. Oh, and also I wanted to say, QJ Smith, yeah, you are correct. Said Jimmy Horn Jr. is the most underrated addition of the entire offseason. I
Yep.
can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yes, sir. All
Hmm.
right, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so I know we're talking about Princely here, right? And you know, I put too soon. I put too soon, and let me play you the clip, okay? And this was, I think, in response. So this is him on his Twitch page, and I think this was in response to everybody getting at Icky after Princely. I think he got a hold of Bryce's arm late in the practice, and and everybody was like, "Ooh, like don't do that. Don't reach out and try to do anything to hurt your starting quarterback. You in the first couple practices of training camp." So let me see what he let me show you what he said.
Oh my gosh, what does this say about Icky? Icky this, Icky that. Bro, Icky is a great offensive tackle, nigga. I'm just like that. Like, what the fuck? Yo, what's good? Icky is a great offensive tackle, bro. I'm just cold as fuck, fam. Like, there's not many offensive tackles that can lock me up. Really none, to be honest. Exactly, like, appreciate the follow. Everybody on Icky Ass on Twitter and shit.
Okay. And so also let me welcome to the stage Comedic Relief, as the name is on my screen down here. Brother Nakari, what's going on?
Yeah, what's good? What's good? What's good?
All right, you got your you got your car fixed.
Yeah, man, the Nova is good. It's running. We great. Ready for the drag strip.
Okay, so let me ask you and Will this, and the reason why I said too soon, I love what he said. Okay, I love every word of it. All right, but my thing is, is it too soon for him to be like, I don't think anybody can hold me. I'm just that dude. I don't think no offensive tackle can hold me. Like I said, I love his
Nope.
confidence. I love his confidence, but is it too soon? Do you want to give any other teams any kind of motivation going into preseason and regular season and be like, hey, if I see him, oh, that's the one that said that. So what y'all think about that?
Ain't nobody looking at his Twitch. Ain't nobody worried about his Twitch.
Oh,
Not
I
nobody
love
in the
Nakari.
league. But excluding Matt Rule, man, excluding Matt Rule, we ain't had an asshole on this team in so long. So I
Wow.
welcome it. I welcome it. I'm ready.
Wow. He said we ain't had an asshole on this team in so long. Well, hold on, the card. That don't mean he's an asshole.
Oh no. Did you from when he got his draft call, he said, I'm gonna have to break y'all pockets in a few years.
Oh, well,
He an asshole.
yeah.
And I'm an asshole, so I can identify asshole. Game recognized game.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Will, what you think, man?
Man, I gotta go before Nakari every time. You can't put me after that.
I'm sorry. Well, he just came on, so
So I believe that we need this type of personality on the roster.
facts.
Can you imagine week 3 and he blasts Penix ass? Oof.
Pause, but yeah, I hope so.
Oh, what he? I'm, I'm sorry, Miss CJ.
Are you good?
I'm sorry, Miss CJ. But I'm just saying, like, can you
Thank you, Panther
imagine?
Dog.
Can you imagine how that stadium will erupt, right? And he will then
Yes.
become a darling. And right after that game, he gonna jump right on Twitch. And he gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm like that. I'm cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that. And everything you know, it's gonna be 33 jerseys all over that stadium.
Yeah. Hey, I'm
That's
hoping
what
that
I'm
he
hoping
does it in
happens.
week 1, and as soon as he get back to Charlotte, he hop on the Twitch and be like, "I told y'all." Yeah. So we'll see.
I told y'all exactly. Yeah, but and I gotta defend something real quick. Nakari, you're
Mm-hmm.
not an asshole.
Oh
You're
no, I am.
literally the funniest dude on the Twitter. On the Twitter, oh, you're the funniest dude on these YouTube Panther streets, man. It'd be so funny. I'm just saying.
Every
Mm,
funny person, every funny dude ever is an asshole. That's how you become funny.
that's true. That's true.
Nakar said, "Come see me in Mullins." He's like, "You'll find out."
I'm not from Mothers, man. I'm from Marion. There's a big difference.
Oh,
You'll
my
die
my
for something
bad.
like
I'm sorry,
that.
Hey,
Murray. My bad. He
hey,
from
hey,
It's
Murray.
hey,
only
hey,
Marion, not
hey,
Murr. It's
Murray. He
only
from
7
Murray.
minutes between the two, but that 7 minutes make a
it's a big
world of
one. I'm from,
difference.
hey,
Wow.
hey, Nakari, I'm from Buford. I'm from Buford,
Oh,
man.
okay. Port
Yeah,
Royal.
yeah.
Okay.
Port Royal in the house. See, you don't know
Uh,
nothing about that. We talking the South Carolina thing. We could change the subject because
Yeah, we
we
could
got some
change
things
it.
going on down there. Y'all boys and girls don't know about it in North
Yeah,
Carolina.
I have no
hey,
clue.
look. All I know is y'all don't have to get y'all cars inspected, and y'all drive them raggedy shits up on our streets all the time.
That is,
That's all.
these are all
That's
these are all factual based
that's
information.
all.
It is
That's all.
factual.
It's, it's factual, and I resent that you even gonna throw that at us.
I'm
That's the
sorry.
reason
I
why the
would
car
trade
insurance
in
so
these
high
taxes
out down
for an
there.
inspection
I'm sorry.
so
That's the
quick.
first thing that comes to mind when I think about South Carolina people. I'm like, yo, they do not have to get their cars inspected, and they be coming up on these North Carolina roads driving some shit. I mean, some stuff, and I'll be like, bruh, like they,
How?
yeah,
My
I
car
don't,
is
yeah.
pristine. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is
Mm-mm,
completely
mm-mm.
unsafe.
But I digress. I digress.
Our state
But
is unsafe.
I
These are all
like it though.
facts.
Yeah, but I like it though. I like the confidence from Umami Ellen. The only thing is, I just hope he can go out there, and back it up. Because my only thing with that statement, and he's saying, no offensive tackle can hold him. Well, and I'm taking this, literally as he said it. So that means that you should have had a sack or a hit or pressure on the quarterback every single play in college. If you just, you know what I mean, like if you just that damn good and no offensive tackle can stop you, then yeah, that's That's my only thing. Like, don't give anybody any bulletin board material, too early in the season. You know what I mean? I like what he said. I just wish he would have kind of left that part of it off. You know what I mean? But even still, we'll see. We'll see. But
I
yeah,
have no
okay.
problems absolutely with what he said.
We
Anybody
know.
using it for bulletin board material, um, excuse my French.
Yo,
That's what I've been thinking about this whole time, but I ain't want to say it.
no. Oh, not with the Greg Hardy reference. Oh my God, dig it. Come on.
Now, I thought about that. I wasn't going to speak that into the
Yeah,
atmosphere. Why would you say that?
Wow.
See, damn it,
Wow.
I
I'm
mean, he was
sorry.
damn it,
probably
I gotta
man.
like
get that
the
off the
last
screen.
asshole we
No,
had.
hold on. Dig it. Hold on. That, my friend, that right there, that was too soon. That was too soon, my friend.
It's been
That
like
was way
10
Too
too soon.
soon.
years. Is it really too soon?
Yes, that's too soon,
But the thing
Nicole. I
about
don't,
it,
I don't care
I
if it
don't
was 2
think.
days ago.
I
hey,
mean,
hey, you know what? Greg Hardy hurt. Greg Hardy screwed us over. Then he got his ass knocked out on the UFC.
Several
We can't
times.
handle no more of that.
No.
This
Mm-mm.
is enough.
No, no, no,
Enough
no.
already.
No.
he's still getting knocked
Um,
out, man. Lesser promotions.
yeah. Yeah. Will they run a three-headed running back group? Yeah, and I do believe it'll be Chuba, Dowdle, and ETN. I don't know if my good buddy PPP is watching this. He is a Raheem Blackshear fan, and he's I think he's gonna have to deal with the fact
Raheem is out
that
of here.
yeah, he's out of here. Yeah, he's out of here. Hold on, who was honking the horn? Is that you, Nikari, on the game?
Yeah, man. I was in somebody's way. That's why I took a little side. Like, bro, it's a game. Just hit me and keep
Wow.
going.
Boy, you stupid. Okay, all right. Let's go. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. So, okay, this is the punches part of pads and punches. Okay, so Joe Person, I clipped his Twitter post down here. Said first camp fight, Trevin Wallace knocked Chuba Hubbard to the ground. Chuba comes up swinging. J.C. Horn takes Wallace out of the scrum. Okay, and the crazy thing was Chuba got up to the podium and did not know that he had that shiner on his forehead right there. And he was like, "Hold on, what you talking about this?" And he was saying that usually he would have known because Trimble would have been making jokes about it. So apparently Chuba caught a pass and Trevin Wallace laid him out. Chuba was not happy with it and got up swinging. And like I said again, this is one of the reasons why I wish we were at training camp. And I bring this up because now mind you, Dave Canales said, it wasn't anything that, slow practice down. He wasn't gonna stop practice for it and whatnot. These things happen. It's a physical sport. Chuba and them was like, hey, shit happens. It's what it is. I don't think there's no ill will or hard feelings between any of them. But my thing is we haven't seen this, in a long time, because for the past two training camps, I mean, everything has been pretty, and shout out to Mr. Hunky Dory, but everything has been kind of hunky dory between everybody out there in camp. The last real true like
It's been
fight I
civil.
remember. Yeah, civil. There you go. Thank you. There you go. But the last true fight that I remember, was Cam and Josh Norman back in 2015. And,
Hmm.
and, and it's crazy because now mind you, we didn't get to see this one. Okay, I think this was a part of practice that they couldn't record, so we didn't get any kind of clip or video footage of nothing on this. And I say this jokingly, but I hope it does happen. But it seems like these things keep lining up as they did in the 2015 season. Ohio
Mhm.
State won the national title that year. They won the national title this year. Shoot,
Jennifer
Josh
Lopez
Norman,
having a shitty love life.
stupid. Josh Norman and Cam
What?
got in the fight. Yeah, exactly. Now Chuba and Trevin got in a little bit of a scrum, and then we played Jacksonville the first game of the season this year. Okay, now there is one thing that I hope does not happen. Like 2015, and that's Kelvin Benjamin got hurt. I hope we don't have anything like that this year. I hope hope we can have the same results, but not have that same similarity. Let me put it like that. But
Mhm.
what do y'all think about the little scrum, man?
Maybe
Go
hold
ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
Maybe that's the Josie Jewel. Maybe that's the Josie Jewel piece.
You know what? You did it. That's right.
Oh, there you go. There
We
you
going to the
go.
Super Bowl. I'm crazy.
we
I'm about
go
to
we
cry.
going to the ship.
About to cry.
We
We going
we
to
going
the
to the
shit.
house, y'all.
We going to the shit.
We got to do it for G baby.
Oh my God. Hey, I didn't even think about that, Will. That's right. Yeah, Josie Jewell was that part. Yeah. All right, yeah, bet. Hey, we gonna do something this year
You're
then,
We can
y'all.
welcome.
start the show.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. But yeah, man. But let me tell you, the thing I want to know is, like, I would love to see exactly how hard he hit him to put that big of a knot on his head. I mean, that's like front and center. I don't know, did his head hit the ground or something? Or is something. He got him good. But what do y'all think about this? Just well, I guess ain't really too much to just discuss about it. But yeah, I just think this is interesting. Like I said, because things haven't been really chippy. At camp the past 2 seasons that I've been able to go to camp, and like Will said, everything has been civil. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, hopefully this can translate into more spirited practices, which will translate into better practices, which hopefully translate into better gameplay. All right. So y'all got any thoughts
Well,
on good
well,
old Chuba
well,
here?
Dave Canales said that there's a direct correlation to the physicality in training camp and tackling in the regular season. So
Mm.
you know that the Carolina Panthers was rated as the #1 missed tackle defense in the NFL. I am sure in
Right.
every position room in
Mm-hmm.
Evero's system, they have been saying, I don't give a damn. You better hit. If it ain't Bryce Young, you better knock they effing head off. Right? They better
Yep.
it's up to them to protect themselves. Period. Okay? And
Yeah.
on period. Because we were rated the worst tackling team in the NFL, which translated to the worst running defense team in the NFL. We would scheme up plays and they would miss tackles in the backfield and the running back would get
Mm-hmm.
38 yards on us.
Yep.
So
And
I think that is being preached to them, especially in that mid-tier section. And if you see his college film of Wallace
mm-hmm.
was a heat-seeking missile.
Hmm.
Yes.
So
Yes. You're
he
right.
knows how to play like that. So I don't know if that's all translating. Now, of course, I'm speculating, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
it's
and he can
crazy
he can
that
be a.
Panthers.
Oh, go ahead, Nicar. Go ahead.
My bad, fan. I was just saying
No,
it's
you go
crazy
ahead.
that Panthers fans sort of kind of already gave up on him. He a rookie. Well, he was a rookie, and
Mm-hmm.
we saw his college tape. We saw what he's capable of. So I don't understand why everybody so quick to give up on Wallace.
Yeah, and he was not supposed to get thrust in to that spot last year. I'm about 1,000% sure that was not the plan. It was supposed to be Josie, it was supposed to be Shaq, and he was supposed to be in there situationally if needed, and he was supposed to learn. And Will, like you saying about him being, a scud missile. I love it, but he's also got to be a scud missile that learns how to square up sometimes too. Instead of just like and whoever you tackled is still running. But yeah, the Panthers had to have been the worst rated tackle team. It had to have been the last 2 years at least. Much as I love Shaq Thompson to death, Shaq Thompson was the same way. Shaq Thompson would run a play down from the other side of the field only to throw a shoulder into somebody, and they look at him like, yeah, nah, they ain't gonna get it, and they keep on running down the field. But it was bad on all levels last year because our defensive line was getting pushed back. And I want to say that running backs from the opposing teams, it was like an average of, I want to say, 3 to 4 yards before they got contact from anybody on our defense. Okay, just think about that. You're a running back from an opposing team. You're getting the ball. Okay, you're getting 3-4 yards past the line of scrimmage before you get in contact with anybody. You know what I mean? And then my thing is, if that average, was
Yep.
to like literally hold true every game, I mean, hell, that's the first down after 3 downs. If you're getting 4 yards a play before you get contact, and just you're not even factoring in what you're doing after contact, and with Carolina, that was probably a lot because the contact was not getting them to the ground 90% of the time. So, but I say all that to say, well, I do agree with you, but like you said, it's good to see they out there doing that, and yeah, they was like, you know what, yeah, now y'all gotta do better than this. Like I don't care what's going on, hey, they get that damn ball, we got this. That's why we got these pads on. Go hit their ass, knock them out. But
I
we'll see.
appreciate
Yeah.
them
So,
practicing.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. Go ahead, Nikari. I'm sorry. My bad. My
oh
bad,
no,
fam.
I just appreciate them practicing, every facet of the game. We got to go undefeated against Cleveland and Houston in every fight. So I appreciate them practicing for the upcoming squabbles. I'm ready.
Not those bumps need a bra. God dang.
Good Lord, man, that's funny.
Oh my God. Yo. Making True Money, what's going on, man? He said, I hate you too. What's up, man? How you doing, big dog? What's going on with you? What's going on? Okay. But yeah, man. Okay. But yeah, so Chuba and Trevin got into a little bit of a kerfuffle, at practice today. And Chuba has the little take home prize with him. I wonder how long it's gonna take for that to go down. Cause he must have got hit pretty damn hard to get them, like, cause it looks like he got about 2 knots on his head, maybe three.
Hey, you
If I
know
ain't,
what? If y'all know anything about a locker room, he
mhm.
still getting text messages right now, laughing at his
Oh,
ass.
bruh. Let me tell you. You
Jesus
know,
Christ.
hey, they be like, dude, you on every podcast with them two titties on your forehead. You on every single podcast, dog.
He ain't even get hit that hard. He just Canadian.
Oh
Wow.
shit. And you know what? You
Wow.
just making it worse, Nikari. God Lord, man, get up, Chuba.
He said he didn't get hit that hard. He is just Canadian. Oh my God. Yo. That is funny. QJ called me egghead Chuba. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Canadian bacon, Lord. You know what? And that
You know
that's
what?
that's that's a that's a good segue. You know what? Hey man, hold on. Let me get back to what I was doing here, and I got everything all jacked up. Okay, there we go. All right, but yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. That's all I had today. Um, Probably go back live again sometime this week, maybe on Wednesday, after a couple practices, and we'll see how things are still looking. Again, Will, Nakari, I thank y'all for coming up here and joining me. Nakari, while you getting your Nova ready and honking at civilians
I
out
moved
there
on to
in
the
your
El Camino.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right, gotcha. Appreciate you.
yeah.
But yeah, man. But this has been training camp day 5. Pads on, few punches thrown. We gave our thoughts about Bryce Young getting off to a fast start. The transactions that have been going on since training camp. Again, for those of you that may have missed it, we talked about Nick Scourton's contract a little bit. We were thinking that it was he has a set contract, $8.6 million. We're thinking that maybe it was more guaranteed money that he's waiting on. He was waiting on, but he's got like 3.6 million guaranteed. Not a whole lot. Well, I ain't gonna say not a whole lot because there's way more than I've made in my entire life. But as far as contract goes, we're thinking we were waiting to see him get more, guaranteed money than that. All right. We talked about we talked about how Tony feels that Melo Dotson can't tackle and won't be on the team too long. Again, Bryce Young, we talked about our receivers, and our third round defensive end, outside linebacker, Prince Uman Mielen, and his thoughts on how he say he just cold. He just that dude. And whether I put up there whether I thought it was too soon or not. You know, so we gave our opinions on that, and I just appreciate, we also talked about Chuba and the big shiner that he got on his forehead from Trevin Wallace. All right, Will, Nakari, y'all got any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Keep pounding fist. Keep pounding fists into the faces.
I got you. Will?
I'm very optimistic about this season. I think that this training camp's going to show us a lot, and I appreciate that you let me join, man.
Hey, anytime. Hey, make it true money. You know what? I'm gonna write me a note down here, man, and I'm gonna let you know next time I go live. I'm gonna send it to you over on Instagram, okay? I'll make sure you get on here. All right, but I appreciate you, man. Hey, but again, thank you to everybody who joined me tonight. Again, thank you to Will and the Car for stepping up here and shooting the shit with me. I greatly appreciate both of y'all. Again, on whatever platform you're watching, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, or X, Twitter, or Twix, as me and Big Cuz always called it. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on whatever you're watching. Also on all social media, you can catch me down here at the bottom at Armchair GMCJ. And again, as always, I appreciate all the love and the support. Okay. And as always, I'm going to leave y'all with 3 things. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. We'll see you. And I hit the wrong button.